you covered in birds. When I heard that Phil was submitting a picture covered in birds, it was not those birds that I had in mind. And his wife's called Birdie, so it makes sense that he looked like that. Phil, you've created a bit of a legend for yourself. Yours and my chat at convention was pretty interesting. And we talked about, in that day, the reason Phil got started in this business, the commitment he made as he lived in a trailer park. I'll shorten it up and condense it for you. And he had $300, and that was the rent for the trailer park for the month, and that's all he had. And he decided to take a punt on StemTech. And he spent his last $300 on his fast start pack in those days. His wife went crooked him. His mother-in-law went mental. His mother threw a hissy fit. But Phil was focused and said, I have to make this work. And he picked up the phone and you spoke to people, correct?
Correct.
And that's all you did?
Yep.
You picked up the phone and spoke to people. What results did you get? And how often, how long were you on the phone?
Well, I don't know how long I was on the phone. I didn't really keep track.
Sure.
I just kept calling, and in my first 2 days, I sponsored 10 people.
In 2 days. And so you ring me up and I say, hi, it's Andy Goodwin, and you say what?
Hi Andy, this is Phil. I found your website on the internet and was wondering how you were doing with your business.
Not so good, really. That's all right, but who are you?
My name's Phyl Franklin. Like I said, I came across your website on the internet and just wanted to reach out and make a new friend.
Okay. Okay, so what do you mean by friend?
Well, I do network marketing also, and I'd say I'm not a network marketer. What I do is I'm a professional friend maker. So, I just make new friends in the industry, and if it's, we share information with each other. You might want to take a look at what I'm doing, or I might want to see what it is that you're doing, or find out, what we're doing that is making us some money.
Clever, clever, clever. Took an interest in me. I might want to find out what you're doing, because everyone likes to talk about themselves, but cleverly he's talking about me before he is, but he's opened the door. You might like to have a look at what I do. You have an interesting demeanor to most people. People look at you and they make up their mind who you are. You're either from Texas, or you're a biker, or you don't know how to get a haircut, or you're a tattoo artist, or you're a gang member, but you've got an amazing story that I think people should know to share. The man that's Phyl Franklin, the Triple Diamond, the Diamond Advisory Board member, because when we look at him, we make a decision. First time, a lot of people do it, and we're all guilty of it. We're all guilty, even me. I said to him once, Phil, how can you be a Triple Diamond look like that? You should be in a suit. He says, Andy, my business is successful, just me being me. What did Michael say? And he was right, and I was wrong. But you hear this story, and I said to Phil, you can have a beer, Phil. No, I don't drink. I'll have an iced tea. You'd think a person that looks like that would drink, would you not? He talked about God, so he found a relationship with God, and I said, Phil, how did this all come about? And you said to me, I used to drink.
Well, back in the day that I was young and wild and crazy and stupid, I used to drink a lot, mainly social. I didn't consider myself an alcoholic or anything, but I could drink anybody I wanted to bring to the table.
And when he says a lot, what do you mean by a lot, Phil?
Well, there was times that, I went to the bar and we were closing one of the bars, for instance, and I bet the bartender that I could kill his fifth of Crown in however long he said I could take.
A fifth of Crown. Does everybody understand what a fifth of Crown is?
So he gave me
How big is a fifth of Crown?
30 seconds to finish a fifth of Crown.
Crown is
Crown oil.
Oil?
Crown oil.
Whiskey. So you could drink a fifth, you could drink a bottle of whiskey in how long?
Well, that time he gave me 30 seconds and I did it in about 10.
It's regular.
So this was of the days, let me remind you, when he was young and stupid.
Stupid.
Going on from there, what happened?
Well, okay, this is going to be a little hard, guys, because, well, what happened was is right after I got involved in STEM Tech, and, you know, you guys heard that I didn't have 2 nickels to rub together at the time. And I started making pretty good money. And I was hanging out with some friends, and I was getting that tattoo done, as a matter of fact. And a good friend of mine, well, an acquaintance really, that I was getting a tattoo with, we went and bought 3 bottles of tequila. And we killed those 3, and between the 2 of us. And we had 3 other friends that came up, and so we went and bought 4 more bottles of tequila.
Let me just pause you there, I need to keep score. They had 3 bottles of tequila. They killed them, which means they drank them, between 2 of them. Then they decided some more people came to with 4 more because they were still thirsty. Carry on.
Well, you know, I was used to being able to kill a 5th, you know, so I wasn't real worried about it. I was feeling 10 foot tall and bulletproof. And we got back with those other bottles, and I took one of the 5ths and I spun the top on it, and I killed the whole bottle in about 10 seconds. That was the last thing I remember. I remember walking back through the hallway and sitting down at the back of the hallway and going, wow, okay, I think I've had enough.
Finally.
Well, my wife left with Andy's wife for a little bit, so she can't tell you, but my best friend, somehow I ended up over at my best friend James's house. And he went and got my wife, and he said, Roberta, you need to come to the house. She said, I can't. I got the kids, my dad's here, you know, I can't go anywhere. He said, you know, you really need to come to the house. There's something wrong with Phil. Well, he finally talked her into it. And
But at that point, you'd stop breathing, is that correct?
when she got there, I was blue, purple lips, no heartbeat. I was dead. I died. She said, well, have you called the ambulance? And he said, no. He said, I'm not going to call the ambulance. You know, we'll get in trouble. Phil died. And she said, call the ambulance now. And not so many words. So they did. And I guess
she gave the description of the ambulance to call. Call the ambulance.
So when the ambulance arrived, I guess, and I really wish she was here to tell you because I wasn't there. But she said that when the ambulance arrived, the paramedic got there and he came in the bedroom and or in the bathroom, and he looked, and I was in the tub, soaking wet, and he goes, "What do you want me to do about it? He's dead." And she said, "Well, I want you to revive him." And he said, "Well, I don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll try." And so they brought me back, and then they got me in the ambulance, and I died again in the ambulance. And I got to the hospital, and they brought me back in the ambulance, and I died again at the hospital. And so I died 3 times. And I woke up 4 days later. My mom was there, my dad, my best friend. And I said, "Where am I? What happened? And how did I get here? You know, I got all these tubes and crap sticking out of me." And I said, "Well, I didn't even know how I got here." And they told me what happened and that I died. And, you know, and I said, "Wow." You know, I didn't have any words. And, you know, I know for a fact that if I would have stayed dead, I'd be in hell right now. I know that for sure.
You were rejected from hell, they didn't want you.
No, God have been
That's what happened. Clearly you were on the door. It's Franklin, no, we don't want him.
And so now, you know, the biggest thing in my life is just to have the closest walk with the Lord as I possibly can. And it's not, you know, any religion, anything like that. It's a relationship with Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior.
Good. Top story, boy. You bring that back to the STEM Tech world and you think, wow, I died 3 times for STEM Tech. You don't drink anymore, clearly, and he made that decision. But the love you show people around you is really quite remarkable. He's not what you perceive him to be by looking at him. He's a gentle, kind, loving man who has the best interests of all the people in his team at heart. And you have built a team now that spans how many markets?
As far as I know, all of them.
All of them, right around the world. Simply by talking to people, and he still does it, and I've seen him do it. Your advice, please, for these people before they go to lunch. One of the things he'll advise is not to drink tequila to that guy. But in terms of how, what would you say to these guys to build their businesses to where you're at, to what you've achieved?
Never give up. You know, never. Don't ever judge anybody by their cover. I mean, how many of you guys would have sponsored me? No, that's.
You would have now. Now he's still alive. That was helpful. But he's right. We look at him and say, oh no, I wouldn't ask him. Carry on.
So, you know, never give up. Talk to everybody you meet. You know, hey, whose life can you change? I mean, how many thousands or millions of lives can we change right here, you know? And especially in all the other countries that we're in. You know, I was been reading a lot of books and stuff, and you know, just don't get discouraged and don't ever give up, because the more people you talk to, it all boils down to a numbers game. And you know, you're going to hit that one person. And when you do, you never know who they know. And when you look at that person, like that biker, like me, you know, who does that guy know? Well, you never know who I know. I mean, they may know. I've had friends that have talked to, you know, Congress people. You never know who that person knows and who that person knows. And you never know where their circle of influence is. And so when you judge, you know, somebody else without really knowing that person, you're doing yourself you know, yeah. I'm still trying to catch up from what I said there. So, you know, just never give up. And if you keep trying, you will find that right person. And, you know, network marketing is the only thing that's out there that pays you what you're worth. If you go out there and work it like a part-time job, you're going to get paid a part-time income. If you go out there and work it like a full-time job, you're going to get paid more than your dreams. And all you got to do is, you know, get out there and do it. Talk to everybody that you can, make the cold calls, you know, whatever it takes. There's so many different ways that you can market nowadays. And it's not just, you know, I walk out in the parking lot. I mean, I've already talked to the front people at the desk. I know that some of you guys have too, because they told me. But, you know, everywhere you go. I mean, in an elevator, walking. Last time I was at convention, I talked to 2 police officers. One, you know, that pulled me over. And I'm sitting there going, what'd you pull me over for? And he judged me too. He walked up and he said, so what are you guys doing? I said, I'm here for a convention. He goes, are you living in your truck? I said, excuse me? No. And, you know, we started talking. He goes, well, I need to see your license, registration, proof of insurance. Okay. Gave him that stuff. He walked away, came back with it, and handed it to me in the window there. And he says, well, you have a great day. And I said, wait a minute. I said, before you leave, now let me give you one of my cards. I said, this is what I do. It's an all-natural product that supports the natural release of your own adult stem cells. I said, you know, I know you're a police officer. You may have to get out and run and chase a suspect or, you know, whatever it takes. I said, this will help you recover faster. He said, wow, you know, there might be a couple of guys at the station that might like this. We went to San Diego. As soon as we got to San Diego, we're walking around, you know, checking out the ship that was there that my grandpa served on. And so I walked up to another police officer. I just walked up to him. I said, hey, how are you today? I introduced myself. I said, here's my business card. Take a look at this. I said, it may change your life. You know, it'll help your recovery rate if you have to get out and work out or chase somebody or who knows what it takes. But, you know, talk to everyone that you meet everywhere that you go. And just don't ever give up. Because if you don't give up, you know, you will succeed. And that's not an if or a maybe. That's just keep trying. And there's nothing you can't do but succeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Phyl Franklin.